Hi guys! This video comes very high on the list of things you never knew you wanted until you realized it exists. Just keep on watching to see how I made this edible YouTube play button out of golden gummy. If you're new to my channel, then a huge welcome and please hit the subscribe button for more unique DIYs. This video is part of a big collab with some amazing YouTubers, so be sure to click the description box below to see the following tutorials. So first up, there's this incredible giant gummy Oreo by Alejandro, followed by a life-size gummy mayonnaise by Timmy Timato. Glitter Queen Breland will show you how to make a huge edible foundation bottle, and Chelsea Crockett tests out DIY food science recipes from BuzzFeed. Jacob Cruikshank made these beautiful edible Kylie Jenner lip glosses, and Kim from KimspiredDIY cooked up a delicious Hershey's syrup gummy. And just when you think you've seen it all, there's still Chrissy from Glamour Fox with an edible soy sauce Jello. So don't forget to check them all out and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And without any further ado, let's get started with our edible YouTube play button. First, let me unwrap this box that came in the mail a month ago, and then it's time to take it all apart with a screwdriver. This tutorial is designed so that you can actually make a golden jelly version of any object you want, since obviously not everyone has a play button. Simply follow the steps and replace the play button with any item you want. What you're about to see is going to mess up the play button pretty badly, so don't try it with your own unless you really don't mind tarnishing the silver. I'm going to use this 2-part silicone mold maker, which I've linked below. You simply mix equal parts of the putty together and use it to mold whatever you want. I use this a lot for jewelry making, and there's a few things to watch out for. Firstly, you shouldn't mix it too quickly or you'll get air bubbles that ruin your mold. I actually mixed it a bit too fast in this video, so try to work a bit slower, but not so slow that the putty starts to harden up. So first I'm going to show you how not to make a mold. You should not place the item on the table and press the putty on top. This will almost definitely create air bubbles and unwanted gaps around the edge. As proof, here's the finished mold, and you can see it has so many air bubbles in it, we might as well throw it straight into the bin. Now here comes the right technique for using mold putty. Make a shape that's slightly bigger than your object. Place this on a flat surface and carefully press your object into the putty. Simply press it straight down using even pressure and try not to move it left or right. Then gently push in the sides so that you can get a good impression of the edges. Leave this to harden for about 20 minutes and then we can pop out the play button to reveal a nearly perfect mold. If you look very closely, there are 2 tiny bumps here, but I can live with that. For the next part, I wanted to use ginger ale for the golden play button and vitamin water for the silver play button. However, the vitamin water turned a really gross yellow color after I added the gelatin, so I ended up leaving that out. First, pour 1 small bottle of ginger ale into the pan. Heat it until it boils and simmer for about 15 minutes to reduce the liquid. This concentrates the sugar and makes the gummy slightly sweeter. Then pour 1 packet of gelatin into a cup, add some water and leave it to soak for a few minutes. This just makes it easier to dissolve. I would personally recommend using agar, which is virtually the same as gelatin but plant-based. This hydrated gelatin, which is made out of animal bones, smells so disgusting you can't even imagine, and I'm not even remotely vegetarian. Once the gelatin or agar is soft, just add it to the pan and stir until fully dissolved. In the meantime, wash your silicone mold really well to make it food safe. You can use it for gummies or chocolate candy melts. You can also use it for clay or resin, but if you start using non-edible materials, then you shouldn't go back to using the mold for food again. Now simply spoon your gummy mixture into the mold. I'm doing this on a table because I was filming it, but it's actually much easier to place the mold in your fridge or freezer and then spoon the mixture while it's inside. That way you won't spill anything. It's best to leave it to set in the fridge, but if you're impatient then you can use the freezer, which is what I did. That takes about 10 minutes, but you have to keep checking it because ice crystals might start to form and ruin the jelly. If you see any ice crystals, then take it out right away and wash them off with water. Now I'm just going to peel this very carefully out of the mold. I noticed that this first gummy was a lot harder to get out of the mold than the other ones, so if you make more than one, then the process goes much faster. The texture is somewhere between a gummy and a jelly, and it's absolutely hilarious to play with. I found these gold and silver food paints which I'll use to color in the play buttons. So I'm going to place the gummy on a non-stick baking sheet before spraying it. So the girl in the shop told me that this is the best gold paint there is for food, and I have to say I'm seriously impressed. As you can see, it covers everything perfectly and creates a fully smooth and opaque golden surface. You can transfer it very carefully from the baking sheet onto a plate using a table knife or a palette knife. And here you have it! It's a golden gummy play button that wobbles all over the place. This was so much fun to make, and it really wasn't difficult at all. Of course, this wouldn't be a gummy video without someone cutting through something, so just sit back and enjoy. Since this is an edible DIY, I'm going to taste the gummy. I'm not a huge fan of jelly, so one bite really is enough, and unsurprisingly it tastes like stale ginger ale. Now I simply repeated all the steps to make a second gummy for the silver play button. I also think this is the most oddly satisfying clip that I've ever uploaded onto YouTube. Give this video a thumbs up if you agree. Then I simply started adding the paint with a brush. If you're using this type of paint, then you definitely need about 3 coats to get the full metallic effect. In hindsight, I should have simply made this button using water so it's completely transparent. The results look pretty legit, though it's definitely not as good as the spray painted one. But in any case, here you have a wonderfully wiggly silver play button. I hope you enjoyed this DIY, and don't forget to check out the description box for links to all the other amazing projects in this collab. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon!